Sul, vi now fredice the Sims, and when last we left off, normality is slowly returning to the Smith household. Well, about as normal as it gets when one of them is a magician anyway. Dave and Yvette went to work, and Jim had his first day of school, and it went rather well. His grades are now B+, and with enough days of going to school in a good mood, they'll get to their maximum, and at that point there's a random chance that there'll be a monetary reward for Jim maintaining his exceptional grades. The only constant in all the time that Jim was a baby was Dog, who as usual is being Dog. He's had a lot of practice doing that after all. But meanwhile, on the other side of the road, Danielle is currently working on being a star. And to do that, she's going to have to get a lot more creativity than she already has. And Samuel is fast asleep because it is currently 2:45 in the morning. It's a good thing that he can't hear Danielle practicing on the piano. We're going to have to get at least creativity 2. We might even need to gain a 3rd level before she has any chance of getting the very beginnings of her career in stardom. We also will need to get some charisma at some point, but that will come in time. There is one downside to only having one cat in the household, however, and that is that Melisande has nobody to interact with, which means that her social is going to slowly drop without Samuel or Danielle interacting with her. Danielle's relationship with Melisande is unchanged at 100, which is good. I was a little worried that that might deteriorate, because Danielle is a human and the transformation reduced that score. Also, wow, that is a really quick scaling of some stairs there. And you're just going to follow Samuel around. Samuel will need to get up eventually, but not just yet. I'm thinking at around about 4 o'clock. Maybe we'll have some time to do some social interactions with Melisande. Maybe not. At least we don't need to focus on studying cooking for Danielle, as she does have those 3 levels of cooking, which means that she won't burn the house down. And this does also mean that your fun is going to be pretty much at maximum while you're practicing. Energy is fine, we can actually have you go to Studio Town whenever you like. There's always people in Studio Town to listen to you perform, or to be there so you can do some work. Studio Town never sleeps. Danielle will eventually have to sleep, however. Just not yet. We want to get that 2nd point of creativity. I think it's time for you to get up, Samuel. Time for you to start the day. You might as well actually just make a quick breakfast. And then use this and that. You don't need to use the piano, which is handy. That means you have even more time to interact with Melisande, who has loads of energy. And how is... Yep, there's plenty of food in that, so we don't need to fill that up. You just haven't had a meal, and you're going to go and have a meal right now. I know it's rather early and your energy isn't at maximum, but you do need to start the day. And at 83 and 73, you don't need to interact with either of them. You might need to start interacting with Danielle at some point, but that will come in time. If your schedules ever synergize, and that is a 2nd point of creativity. We might as well actually get you the 1st point of charisma right now. And Danielle and Samuel go past each other without interacting at all. That's how little they know each other. About 9, but the other way round is really bad. That is 3 and 2. And Danielle engages in perfectly normal behaviour, talking to herself in a mirror. That always happens. Okay, Samuel had to do it quite a lot because he needed 4 points of charisma at one point, but he doesn't do that anymore. And I think that eventually will go bad like any of the other newspapers, so we'll just leave that there. The maid will deal with it eventually. And that is 1 meal prepared and consumed. Eventually, Danielle's going to have to move because Samuel's going to need to use the toilet, and he's not going to appreciate you being in there. And you are going to chase your tail. Don't worry, Melisande, we'll interact with you eventually. It won't take you very long to get that point of charisma. The 1st point of any skill, always easy to get. It's the other 9 points that are the difficult part. Just ask Samuel with creativity. And what are you doing? You're just staring at the wall. I hope the wall is interesting. And that is 1 point of creativity. It is time for you to go to bed. There we go. You have your own bedroom. There's not a lot in there, but it is your bedroom. And now Samuel will put away that plate and resume with his daily activities. He has a number of hours before he has to go to work, plenty of time to interact with Melisande, I think. You'll just use that and the shower. You're really not going to be in the shower that long at all. And then some social interactions with your only cat. You only have one now, Samuel. If you want another, you'll have to go and buy another. We have more than enough money to do that, but I think at the moment, you're fine with having just one. Perhaps you'll get a second one later. And that is hygiene taken care of. We could actually play the piano a little bit, but no, I think we're just going to play with Melisande a little bit. There we go. 1, 2, 3 interactions. We could also give Melisande a treat, but we're not going to. We only used one of the Praise 'em High pet treats in that magic spell. Alright, a few interactions here, and that will certainly help with Melisandre's social. It's already rocketed up to a rather decent level, but a few more interactions can't hurt. We'll also have one more. There we go. Excellent. And that has got Melisandre's social up to nearly maximum. Brilliant. We could even have you play the piano for a tiny bit. Not long, but half an hour will help. You're nearly at maximum, just a little bit more. A tiny bit more work. And then you'll never see that bar again above Samuel's head when he's playing the piano. Or painting. Or playing the guitar. Which he'll never do, because we're never going to buy him a guitar. Time to get ready for work and earn lots of money. Because right now, you're the only person in this household making any money. It's not going to take you that long to get your energy up to maximum. There we go, a little bit more. And it's time for you... Oh, you already got up. It's time for you to start your day. You're going to start it by having lunch. And then, using the toilet and having a shower. You could even clean the shower, but there's no point because the maid is going to take care of that. And then you're going to return to Studio Town. You've got some creativity, you've also got some charisma. Maybe now you'll be able to get that first step into stardom. Maybe. Won't take you too long to prepare this. It won't be as filling as any meal that Samuel makes, but in time I'm sure you'll be able to get a few more levels of cooking. Was that scrumptious? I'd say moderately scrumptious, about 8 out of 10 on the scrumptious scale. And you're going to get rid of that. What is Melisande up to? Melisande is currently dealing with bladder. Fair enough. And now that is gone. You may even have some fruitcake if you get that first step in your career. Only if you get that. And you're going to have to run for that, which is fine because it's not that far away. You're dealing with that, then you're dealing with hygiene, and we'll just top up your fun, and then you're heading to Studio Town. Hopefully this time you'll be able to succeed where you failed previously. We're actually going to have to get you to pay those bills as well, aren't we? Yes, we are. There we go. I wonder how much more expensive they are now that we have that extra room. Probably not much more expensive. But we'll be able to make up the difference either way, because Samuel will pretty much be going to work all the time, and you're going to put the bills on that table. The reason why I put it there. Brilliant. 932. Not bad. And I think now is as good a time as any for you to go to Studio Town, and see if 2 points of creativity is enough. I think 2 points of creativity will be enough. Let us call a cab to Studio Town and see if you can take those first steps into the limelight. There we go. The phone has been grabbed, and now you shall make that call. You'll be fine by yourself, won't you, Melisande? We probably want to fill that bowl before you leave, even though no time will pass while you're gone. Sorry, the SimCity Talent Agency only allows 1 visit to Studio Town per day, due to the dangers of overexposure. You wouldn't want anyone to think you're desperate, would you? Try again tomorrow. Oh, well, I guess you're not going to Studio Town today, then. You might as well fill up that bowl and work on your creativity some more. Why not, eh? Might as well do that and go with 3 points of creativity, and then a second point of charisma. We might as well use the day productively. Even though you are not Samuel, you find many ways to make your day a worthwhile one. Maybe a point or two of mechanical couldn't hurt either. It won't take you that long to gain that third point, I think. It'll be a little bit of effort, but you'll manage just fine. The piano, unfortunately, is going to be occupied when you get home, Samuel, so you're just going to have to read something instead. And an hour passes, and you're going to return home. If you returned home with the bonus 30,000 simoleons, you didn't, but if you had, that would have been great. And Melisande will come over to say hello. She's very happy to see you. Without Danielle, things are a little bit more lonely for her. Hello there, Samuel. How are you? The cat would say if the cat could talk, but the cat cannot talk. It really won't take you that long to get that third point at all. And you're getting a little bit better at playing the piano. Give it time, and you'll be amazing at it. Do you know what we need to get you? We need to get you an art easel, actually, because then you could earn money while you're practicing your creativity. That's a good idea. Where is that art easel? It's somewhere. There it is. We'll just put that right about here. There we go. Now you can practice your creativity right there. In fact, you're going to do that. That will give you a source of income that you're sorely lacking. You, meanwhile, should probably actually make a few phone calls. You're going to call Dave, and then you're going to call Yvette, just to say hi. I'm sure they won't mind a little conversation. And then just topping up your fun before you go to bed is a good idea. But first, we shall call you. Hello, Dave. How is your son? Is he well? I wonder if Samuel actually knows about Jim. Probably not. And they're going to talk about money and sailing boats. And that conversation didn't go very well at all. But they tried, and that's all that matters. Time to talk to Yvette. Maybe this will go better. I highly doubt it, but it's worth a try. Meanwhile, you're busy painting away. Painting a masterpiece. Maybe. Probably not. With your creativity as it is, probably not. Blah, blah, blah. You just go on and on and on and on. Oh dear. That didn't go well at all. Well, time to play the piano instead, eh? At least that can't possibly go wrong, and then the piano explodes. I hope the piano's not going to explode. No, it's not going to explode. Excellent. How is your art coming along? The answer is, you've got that third point of creativity. Marvellous. And the best part is, you don't even need to go downstairs to work on your charisma. You can work on it right here. Excellent. How is your creativity going? It's going about as slowly as it always goes, but it is improving. Every little bit is a little bit more improvement. Soon, you'll be a master of the keys, a master of the guitar, and a master artist. And fun is going down there. And so, rather the fun gain, time for one piece of fruitcake, and then bed. There we go. Just ignore the fact that when you go upstairs, Danielle is going to be talking to a skull. Is that a skull? That is a skull! Where did you get a skull from? I'm not going to ask questions as to where you got that skull. I'm just going to hope that it's made of plaster. It's made of plaster, right? Sure it is. I have no... Why are you patting the skull? I'm starting to have second thoughts about turning Danielle into a human. I don't think she's used to being a human yet. Maybe she'll never be used to being a human. Are you going to pick up something else? Nope, you're going to pick up the skull again. And you are very tired. Very tired indeed. I don't even know why you went into that room. Ah, yes, you went into that room to wash your hands after eating the fruitcake. That is still pretty fresh, I might add. Or maybe it will never not be fresh. And to bed you go. Yep, don't think about what Danielle's doing. Danielle is just focusing on improving her charisma. Eventually we'll gain that second level. Does this improve fun? I don't know if it does. It doesn't seem to... No, it's still going down, so it doesn't improve fun. It would have been interesting if it had. Also, because I was fast-forwarding, the voice lines there are overlapping. The Bard would have approved. Danielle has received 1 charisma skill point. Time for you to stop, and it's time for you to go and get some sleep. Tomorrow, you're going to be going to Studio Town again, and maybe you'll be getting that first half of a star. You gain them in halves, you don't gain a whole star by moving up 1 step, which means that there are 10 steps, and I've never got that far in Studio Town. I think I may have got to about maybe 2.5 stars. It has the same problems as getting very high in a career does, in that you need a lot of family friends to make it work effectively. How is the food situation? It's still fine. And Melisande is wide awake. And nobody else is. You're going to be awake at around about now. Because it's 5 o'clock and you have things you need to do. One thing you don't need to do is you don't need to, have any fun. Serve some breakfast, I think. You might as well, because I think Danielle is going to be up at around about the same time. Maybe a little later. Actually, you're just going to get up now. Good idea. In the meantime, while you're waiting for food to be ready, you can just continue painting and work on your creativity some more. Maybe you'll actually finish it and earn a tiny bit of money. It's not likely. Alright. Breakfast is going to be served. And today, for breakfast, is exactly the same stuff that's always for breakfast. Generic, unspecified food. Might as well cancel that action because you two are going to be eating. And you're also going to be talking, which is good because you really need to improve that relationship. Just so that you can get along. 9 and 9 is not good. 2 and 2 is even worse. Alright, you're already eating. Actually, you are not eating because those interactions, I always forget that that occurs. Time for you to grab that food. And then do all the interactions that you were going to do. You will have to do the interaction to deal with Bladder again, I'm afraid. But at least you two are going to be talking. Let's hope you actually have enough in common to have a conversation. Do you like music? Okay, they do like talking about music. That's a good thing. And that's a bad thing. I think it's time to change the topic. Change it to parties. They do get on when it comes to parties. We don't want... Ooh, -5. That is bad. 19 and minus... Ooh. They are not really getting on, because that is not a good topic either. Talk about Hollywood, then? Will that work? Do they both agree that that is a... Nope, they can't talk about... Oh, no! There is a negative there in the conversation topic, but there was a positive. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but they can talk about Hollywood. That is something. Okay, you're going to use that and this because you're the one that's going to be going to work at a definite time, as opposed to Danielle, who can go whenever she needs to. You managed to eat your food faster than Samuel. Ah well, that mystery will never be solved. You could probably actually do that first, I think. Good plan. There we go. Just enough time. You're gonna have to wait a little bit. Cancel that, and cancel that. Too late! You're gonna have to leave the room now. Sorry about that. You're just gonna have to leave the room in general, because he needs to do these right now, because he is going to be going to work very soon. Vacate the bathroom, Danielle! Samuel is going to use it. And then Samuel use the bathroom. And when we come back, folks, Danielle is going to return to Studio Town, and hopefully she will become at least a modicum more famous. That's not very difficult when she is not famous at all. Even the tiniest brush with fame will be infinitely more than what she had before. So, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Dag dag.